Fast, when we take a single step back during life's collisions and conflicts, the sky often seems wider and the heart becomes lighter. Best, because the compassion we offer to others is, in truth, one of the most precious gifts we can offer ourselves. Fund. When we learn to forgive the mistakes of others, a peaceful smile remains within the soul. 5. Allowing us to live with serenity and calm amid the countless changes of life. Faith. No matter how kind-hearted and virtuous a person may be, no one can be perfect in every aspect. Each of us carries our own limitations and unfinished corners within faith. No matter how deep and sincere a relationship may be, best, misunderstandings, wounds, and small imperfections will inevitably appear at times along the journey of walking together. If we open our hearts wide enough to embrace everything with understanding and compassion, we will discover that this world is not nearly as harsh as we once believed it to be. Just as the light of mindfulness helps a practitioner step beyond the darkness of ignorance, understanding also guides us toward a broader, brighter, and more peaceful realm of existence. 5. Like a traveler crossing a narrow bridge to reach a greater road ahead. Fact. When we release attachment and fixed views, new opportunities and unexpected joys begin to appear in our lives. And the worries, sorrows, and burdens carried within the heart will eventually dissolve like drifting clouds. For once we learn to return inward and care for ourselves through mindful awareness, for every person in this world carries private struggles, unfulfilled wishes, and circumstances that do not always unfold according to their desires. Found. There are moments when the heart becomes so heavy that it feels as though the entire sky has turned grey, filling the soul with reflection, longing, and quiet regret. Yet in truth, the sun of life never stops radiating its gentle warmth. It is only that our minds are sometimes hidden behind clouds of worry and affliction. Each dawn still arrives silently every day, reminding us that hope has never abandoned a single person walking upon this earth. Being tolerant toward others is not a sign of weakness, but rather evidence of a mature heart that possesses both wisdom and remarkable inner strength. It is the expression of a generous spirit, one that can place itself in another person's circumstances and choose understanding over judgment. Throughout the colorful journey of life, compassion remains one of the wisest choices we can make, helping us avoid countless forms of unnecessary suffering. For among the vast ocean of humanity, the opportunity to meet and walk beside one another is already a precious karmic connection worthy of sincere appreciation. Do not allow a moment of anger to wash away the beautiful bonds and kindness that have been patiently nurtured throughout many years. For when anger finally fades, what often remains behind is nothing more than regret that arrives far too late to undo the damage. In this life, there are 3 important keys that help people live with greater peace and stability: acceptance, or transformation, and letting go. When circumstances cannot be changed, learn to accept them with a calm mind and a clearer understanding of reality. If acceptance alone is not enough to ease your suffering, must then courageously change whatever still lies within your power to change. And when you have done your very best yet, nothing seems to improve. Best, letting go becomes the wisest choice for protecting your own inner peace. Find. Optimistic people often use their smiles to soften life's disappointments, based, seeing challenges as lessons rather than punishments. By contrast, bound. Pessimistic people often focus only on what is lacking and spend their time blaming life, forgetting the beauty that already surrounds them. Along the road of life, no path is completely smooth, for every journey contains its own bends, obstacles, and unique challenges. Those winding roads do not exist to defeat us, but to teach us patience and help us grow into stronger, wiser individuals. Every challenge we overcome becomes a valuable opportunity to strengthen our willpower and deepen our inner resilience. No matter how disappointed you may feel, do not collapse in despair. Remember the loved ones who quietly continue placing their faith and hope in you. Think of the sacrifices and unconditional love of your parents. And let their devotion inspire you to rise again and continue walking the path you have chosen. Even when discouragement appears and you feel tempted to surrender, do not immediately assume that external circumstances are entirely to blame. Often, the thing most in need of change is not your work, nor the people around you, but your own perspective and attitude toward life. Learn to appreciate every decision you have made, because each one carries lessons that are essential for your personal growth and maturity. Even when life remains difficult, avoid excessive complaints, for every person is already carrying burdens invisible to others. No one can accompany and support us forever, therefore, we must gradually learn how to become stronger and more self-reliant each day. In moments of sadness or exhaustion, the most important thing is knowing how to comfort and uplift your own heart. If there are still people who love you and worry about your well-being, then you owe it to them and yourself to live with courage and perseverance. For even when no one offers encouragement or applause, you must still learn how to stand up on your own and continue moving forward. For even if you receive no admiration from others, continue living kindly and spreading goodness. Just as a flower quietly shares its fragrance with the world. Take time to observe the grass beside the road and the leaves resting upon the branches, and allow yourself to feel the simple beauty of life. Though small and humble, they live each moment completely, expressing every bit of vitality they possess. Human life is inherently impermanent and fragile, therefore, we should never underestimate the priceless value of good health. Neither wealth nor fame can purchase a healthy body once it has been lost. When anger begins to rise, it is best not to speak harsh words too quickly, because such moments often leave us carrying deep regret afterward. For words spoken without mindfulness can leave wounds within another person's heart for far longer than we ever imagine. Learn to forgive those who once caused you pain. so that your heart may become lighter, freer, and no longer burdened by the weight of old wounds. 5. No matter how difficult and exhausting life may sometimes become, faith. Never lose faith in the goodness and beauty that still await you ahead. 5. Every flower requires time before it fully blossoms. 5. Just as every form of happiness requires patience, trust, and a willingness to wait. 5. Whether a person's character is noble or still filled with imperfections, fast. One virtue should never be forgotten. 5. Honoring and caring for one's parents. 4. One day, we too will enter old age. 5. And only then may we fully understand the sacred value of family affection and filial devotion. 5. Never forget those who extended a helping hand during your most difficult moments. 4. Gratitude is one of the strongest foundations of a beautiful character. 5. Do not nurture resentment toward those who once loved and cared for you. 5. Because every meeting in life arises through causes, conditions, and karmic connections. 5. And never betray the people who have offered you their sincere trust from the deepest corners of their hearts. And, in truth, 5. No hardship lasts forever when a person possesses enough perseverance, determination, and courage to keep moving forward. 5. Likewise, 5. No one remains forever when a relationship is no longer valued, nurtured, and protected with care. 5. When something has lost its original meaning and purpose, letting go may become the most loving and respectful thing you can do for yourself. 5. You may stumble, 5. Experience heartbreak, bound, and even shed tears along the journey of growing into the person you are meant to become. 5. Yet, no matter what circumstances arise, 5. Never surrender to despair. 5. Because every form of suffering can eventually become a precious lesson. 5. The tears you shed today may become the very foundation upon which tomorrow's strength and maturity are built. And every scar left behind by life's journey can transform into a source of resilience that helps you face future challenges with greater courage. Barnes. It is often the difficult experiences themselves that provide the wisdom and inner strength necessary to continue walking forward. 5. Life is not nearly as terrible as many people imagine, and we simply tend to view it through eyes clouded by excessive worry and fear. Faith. Both success and failure can become valuable teachers. 5. Provided we are willing to reflect upon them with humility and a desire to learn. Arms. Triumphs and setbacks alike are unique landscapes that appear along every person's path toward growth and self-discovery. Vard. When the heart becomes peaceful and pure, Vard. Happiness naturally reveals itself within every ordinary moment of daily life. 5. Whether we wish it or not, time continues, flowing forward without pause and never waits for anyone. Vard. Instead of constantly worrying about distant events that have not yet arrived, Bhakt. Preserve peace within your heart, right here and now. Bhakt. Every day, Bhakt. Strive to become a little stronger than the day before. Bound. Because no one else can live your life on your behalf. Bhakt. Remain patient a little longer. Verse. Persevere a little further. Find and continue trusting the path upon which you are currently walking. Va. Even when you cannot yet see the light waiting at the end of the road, faith, do not abandon faith in yourself. Va. Those who trust themselves possess the strength needed to move beyond limits that once appeared impossible to overcome. Have the courage to embrace challenges greater than your present abilities. Fight, and you will discover hidden potential resting deep within your being. Fight. After many sincere and persistent efforts, you will realize that your capabilities are far more extraordinary than you once believed. Fight. Human life is not a road covered only with ease and comfort. 4. Therefore, the wise learn to accept every change with a peaceful smile and an open heart. 5. Gently wipe away the tears born from suffering. 5. Set down yesterday's hardships. Wise. And continue walking the path you have consciously chosen. 5. Persist in doing what is right with sincerity and dedication. And in time, life itself will gradually become more beautiful and harmonious. Find. There are not nearly as many things to fear in this life as we often imagine. 5. Especially when we live with mindfulness and confidence in ourselves. Fight. If you are the author writing the story of your own life, do not turn its pages into a long tale filled only with sorrow and misfortune. 5. Do not stand forever in a distant corner of life waiting for the future, fear, while allowing anxiety and fear to consume your heart. 5. Life has never truly been overly complicated. Fine. People often create unnecessary suffering by becoming trapped with entangled thoughts. 5. Those who understand the principles of life continually practice simplicity. 5. Allowing their hearts to remain light, peaceful, and at ease. 5. Ultimately, 5. Human life is only a brief journey through the vast realm of impermanence that encompasses the world. 5. Wealth, status, and worldly glory are as fragile as morning dew, resting upon a flower petal beneath the dawn. 4. When we enter this world, we bring nothing with us. Face. And when we leave, we can take nothing away. Fae. Therefore, 5. Gain and loss are not worthy of excessive attachment, worry, or suffering. 5. Learning to move in harmony with the natural laws of life is among the shortest paths leading toward genuine inner peace. 5. There are matters which, when the time is right to release them, bring a sense of relief unlike anything previously experienced. 5. There are people whose memory alone can bring a gentle smile to our lips and a quiet happiness to our hearts. Forms. Certain forms of pain, when viewed through the lens of understanding, become powerful sources of wisdom and growth. 5. Becoming overly preoccupied with a single issue only traps the mind within endless circles of confusion and struggle. 4. In truth, even the simplest matter can become complicated when we think about it far more than necessary. 5. All you need is a calm mind and an open heart, and in time, every situation will pass with far more ease and gentleness than you expected. Then life will leave you with peaceful seasons of contentment, instead of endless days burdened by anxiety, confusion, and sorrow. 4. We come into this world only to leave it again someday. 5. And even the grandest dreams eventually dissolve into emptiness, like evening clouds fading across the sky. Best. Many people mistakenly treat this temporary inn of life as their permanent home. And in doing so, create countless attachments, debts of emotion, and unnecessary suffering. Only yesterday, the flowers seemed radiant with color and beauty. Yet, before long, they wither beneath the silent passage of time. Meetings, once filled with laughter and joy, eventually become distant memories, resting quietly within the heart. Yes, both happiness and sorrow will one day drift away upon the wind, best, like autumn clouds disappearing beyond the horizon. Or, before we realize it, familiar faces have departed, find, and cherished dreams have quietly entered the realm of impermanence. Facts. Time continues, knocking gently upon the door of human existence, for reminding us of the fragile nature of life itself. Fact. People spend their lives rushing and striving, finding, yet in the end, all victories, losses, and comparisons become little more than passing illusions. For one day, we look into a mirror and suddenly realize that our hair has slowly begun to turn grey. Or, eventually, we come to understand that the greatest wisdom is not found in holding on, but in knowing how to let go. For when we release what was never truly ours to keep, that our shoulders feel lighter and our hearts become more peaceful. For the sunset of human life arrives quietly, like a small ferry reaching its final shore at the end of a long journey. For upon reaching a certain age, many people naturally lose interest in places that are excessively noisy and crowded. 5. A calm and balanced state of mind is one of the most precious medicines for maintaining both physical health and emotional well-being. What matters most is not whether our material circumstances are wealthy or modest, as long as the heart remains peaceful and content, we are already living a life worthy of gratitude and appreciation. Fact. Some matters become increasingly exhausting the more tightly we cling to them. So, sometimes it is best to allow them to pass naturally. 5. Things that cannot be fully understood do not always require a perfect answer. But those who merely pass through your life can be regarded as brief, karmic encounters, farewell, worthy of a gentle farewell, rather than endless attachment. For if we only remember hurts and never learn to release them, the heart eventually becomes weighed down by accumulated sorrow. For me, if we focus only on gain and loss without practicing compassion, life loses much of its beauty and joy. For if we pride ourselves solely on cleverness while neglecting sincerity and simplicity, genuine peace remains difficult to find. 5. Overthinking is often one of the primary reasons life becomes complicated and filled with unnecessary suffering. To live simply and authentically is actually a profound spiritual achievement that not everyone is able to attain. By maintaining positive and wholesome thoughts, many difficulties naturally become easier to endure and overcome. People with clear and luminous hearts know how to transform life's events into lessons and blessings for their own growth. Because of this, they rarely remain trapped in sadness by always discovering meaningful value hidden within every circumstance. Facts. Those who understand the deeper truths of life allow events to unfold according to causes and conditions, rather than forcing outcomes through attachment. 5. What truly belongs within your path will return to you at the proper time and under the proper conditions. Regardless of distance, bound. Conversely, whatever is not meant for you cannot be retained forever, no matter how tightly you try to hold it. Therefore, If you wish to preserve something meaningful, first learn how to respect the natural unfolding of its destiny. Found, you have every right to pursue the beautiful aspirations of your heart with all the strength and dedication you possess. Yet, you must also remain wise enough to recognize when it is time to release something that has moved beyond your ability to sustain. If you stubbornly cling to what no longer belongs in your life, you create only additional exhaustion, pain, and disappointment. In such moments, worries and frustrations will follow you like a shadow that refuses to disappear. The soul becomes truly light only when we allow life to unfold according to its natural causes and conditions. Living in harmony with circumstances does not mean giving up, but learning to accept reality with wisdom, clarity, and calmness. The less importance we place upon worldly gains and losses, the more pure, spacious, and liberated the mind becomes. When the mind is pure and tranquil, happiness naturally blossoms within even the simplest moments of ordinary life. Fame, wealth, and material possessions are ultimately nothing more than passing clouds drifting across the sky of existence. But none of these things can accompany us when the time comes to leave this world. Sorrows, resentments, anger, and disappointments will gradually fade beneath the gentle flow of time. After everything has passed, what remains is simply ourselves, standing face to face with our own hearts. Therefore, learn to live more gently, so that each day becomes a day of peace and quiet fulfillment. Release what is unnecessary, and allow the winds of mindfulness to carry away the burdens accumulated within your heart. Most human suffering arises from craving, anger, and delusion. If you wish to live more happily, begin by reducing unnecessary desires and learning to be content with enough. But at the same time, accept that imperfection is a natural and unavoidable part of human existence. The person who knows how to let go at the proper moment is often the one who possesses the deepest wisdom and understanding. Only by releasing what should be released can we truly open the door that leads toward authentic and lasting happiness. One of the greatest sources of suffering in human life is not knowing how to release what no longer belongs to us, even when it has already completed its purpose in our journey. Another profound source of suffering is expecting others to treat us exactly as we wish, perfectly and without ever falling short of our expectations. When we understand that every person has limitations and learn to accept the imperfections in how others behave, happiness begins to draw much closer. From that spirit of acceptance, joy can quietly arise within the most ordinary moments of everyday life. But when we view life through the lens of compassion and understanding, we naturally appreciate what we already possess instead of endlessly longing for what remains out of reach. A heart that knows acceptance becomes more generous, more loving, and more capable of embracing people and life with sincere kindness. As a result, dissatisfaction, resentment, and feelings of unfairness gradually fade away over time. Whether we experience happiness or suffering, success or difficulty, much depends upon the attitude of the mind when facing circumstances. 5. Life itself is woven from both sunny days and unexpected storms, and no one is exempt from this continual rhythm of change. People who live simply often discover profound joy in the smallest and most ordinary aspects of daily living. Meanwhile, many people complicate their own lives and then find themselves trapped in worry, frustration, and emotional exhaustion. Most troubles arise not from circumstances themselves, but from excessive thinking, hesitation, and mental struggle. Therefore, when something deserves your commitment, embrace it with courage, determination, and responsibility. And when something has reached the moment to be released, let it go decisively with clarity and wisdom. Only when we complete what must be completed do we create enough space for new and better beginnings to enter our lives. True happiness is not hidden within extraordinary achievements, but begins with a peaceful and joyful state of mind. Inner lightness is not a gift handed to us by circumstances, but the result of choices we consciously make each day. A situation may be very simple in reality, yet become a heavy burden when we overanalyze and calculate every possible detail. Conversely, even seemingly complicated matters can become manageable when viewed through a spirit of release and acceptance. When attachment and excessive worry begin to diminish, appropriate solutions often reveal themselves more naturally. No one walking this earth is granted a journey that is entirely smooth and effortless. Sweetness and bitterness, joy and sorrow, are all essential flavors within the human experience. A truly resilient person is one who transforms suffering into wisdom and turns emotional wounds into opportunities for growth. Such a person can transform a difficult life into a meaningful journey, rich with purpose and humanity. They can also use sincerity and kindness to turn cold encounters into treasured and heartfelt relationships. Those who understand life's deeper truths know that nothing in this world achieves absolute perfection. The sun that rises brilliantly into the sky will eventually begin its descent toward the distant horizon. The full moon that shines so beautifully must one day diminish according to the natural laws of existence. Perhaps this is why some of the deepest forms of beauty are found within things that remain unfinished or incomplete. Like a flower bud waiting to bloom. There is a special beauty in potential, expectation, and hope. Or like a moon not yet fully complete, but whose gentle incompleteness awakens tenderness and longing within the heart. Often it is the things missing, only a little, that remain in our memories the longest. Imperfection itself is part of the natural fabric of human existence. Those who accept this truth no longer regard flaws and shortcomings as overwhelming problems. Just as a person who knows how to bow their head rarely strikes the doorway before them. Humility protects us from many unnecessary collisions in life. Those who willingly step aside and yield the way avoid countless conflicts and needless troubles. 5. A willingness to learn and remain open-minded enables continual growth and improvement with each passing day. People who are content with what they already possess often enjoy a deeper and more complete happiness than many others. 5. After traveling through half of life's journey. 5. Many people gradually begin to understand the truth of impermanence. 5. We come to see that everything unfolds according to natural principles that cannot be controlled or forced. Fast. Each human being is like a single leaf within the vast and immeasurable forest of humanity. Vow. If there is anything nearly constant in this world, vow, it is the reality of continual change. Found. Change exists within every breath, every passing day, bound, and every stage of human life. Va. After experiencing enough rises and falls, Vas, we begin to understand the fragile nature of our existence. Vas, human life is limited. Vas, and no matter how much we try to fill it, bound, there will always remain spaces that cannot be made completely whole. Found. The years quietly cover the footprints of time and gradually fade many things that once seemed incredibly important. As even pains that once appeared impossible to overcome slowly soften beneath the steady flow of life. Bond. If we remain calm enough to look back, Bard, we eventually realize that no suffering lasts forever. When this understanding arises, arguments about right and wrong, gain and loss begin to lose their importance. Vard. The awakened person no longer spends excessive energy trying to determine winners and losers in every situation. Fund. Instead, Bard, they smile gently at life's changes with understanding, wisdom, and inner peace. Van. Human life, in truth, always contains two roads that travel side by side. Vide. One road is guided by the heart and by the beautiful dreams we carry within. Vow. The other is formed by the practical steps we take through everyday reality. For if we live only within dreams, without action, fade, those dreams eventually fade away with time. For conversely, faith. If we become lost entirely within practical concerns and neglect the soul, life becomes dry and exhausting. Therefore, best, true wisdom lies in allowing dreams and reality to walk together in harmony. One of the most painful experiences in life is giving your whole heart to someone, wise, only to watch their affection turn toward another person. Yet even meetings and partings arise through their own causes and conditions, each carrying a purpose that may not be immediately understood. Learning to follow the flow of causes and conditions while accepting what cannot be changed is one of the surest paths to inner peace. If your presence can bring comfort and serenity to another person's life, that alone is already a beautiful and meaningful success. When we are young, happiness often appears in simple forms and can be found almost everywhere. Only after growing older do we realize that preserving simplicity within the heart is one of life's greatest blessings. To avoid wasting this precious human life, have the courage to do the good things your heart genuinely wishes to accomplish. Love what is worthy of love, and live sincerely according to the guidance of your conscience and deepest values. People often become disappointed because they place excessive expectations upon others and upon circumstances beyond their control. Dreams that are too distant and unrealistic can sometimes become sources of exhaustion and discouragement fade. There are thoughts and feelings carried for so long that we no longer know with whom to share them. Or there are also people we cannot forget, not because they are indispensable, but because we have not yet fully let go, fave. And there are certain people we truly must release, because holding them within the heart only prolongs our suffering. Force. Do not place complete trust in everything your eyes perceive, for perception is often influenced by emotion and personal desire. Human beings naturally pay attention to what they prefer, while unconsciously overlooking truths that do not match their expectations. But in reality, those who are misunderstood may not suffer nearly as much as we imagine. First, the person who judges others incorrectly is often the one who loses the opportunity to recognize genuine worth. We frequently believe that we control our lives entirely, while forgetting how much our existence depends upon the support of countless others. First, therefore, never sacrifice integrity, gratitude, or virtue for the sake of temporary personal gain. 5. Always remember that many of the blessings and achievements you enjoy today may have been built upon the quiet sacrifices of others. Anything obtained through hurting, exploiting, or taking advantage of another person rarely remains stable or lasting over time. Best guess. Human life is as brief as a blink within the endless stream of impermanence, far too precious to waste on things that burden the heart. Do not allow negative people or unhealthy situations to consume excessive amounts of your valuable time and energy. Not even a single brief moment should be surrendered to things that bring only sorrow, frustration, and suffering. While the final outcome remains unseen, keep a smile upon your face and continue walking forward with confidence and faith. A wise person does not sit and complain about fate, but continues moving steadily forward with determination and courage. Within the vast sea of humanity, if destiny allows us to meet, let us offer one another kindness and sincerity. A timely word of encouragement or a compassionate glance can sometimes warm an entire heart that has grown cold from hardship. Amid the storms and uncertainties of life, grant yourself enough optimism to keep moving forward with strength. Those who genuinely love life are able to find light even during days when clouds seem to cover the entire sky. When we harmonize life's challenges with compassion and understanding, joy naturally begins spreading through our surroundings. Happiness is not some distant destination, but often reveals itself through the simplest experiences of everyday life. Life is not a competition designed to determine who is better than whom, but a journey created for learning and growth. What truly matters is not how quickly we arrive at the destination, but how we choose to live along the road. Take time to appreciate the beauty surrounding you instead of focusing only on goals waiting somewhere ahead. When the heart is joyful, the world itself appears more vibrant, beautiful, and alive. There are moments when we must move forward boldly, and other moments when wisdom requires us to pause and reflect. Whether advancing or resting, the most important thing is maintaining a positive and clear state of mind. Vesid, a positive attitude is among the most valuable companions we can carry throughout life's journey back. It helps people live more happily and maintain better health, and overcome challenges that once seemed overwhelming. When facing a problem, avoid rushing toward conclusions before understanding every relevant aspect. Especially during moments of anger, remaining calm becomes essential for preventing future mistakes and regrets. Learn to place yourself in another person's position so that your judgments arise from fairness and compassion. Wise individuals know how to reduce large problems into smaller ones and transform small concerns into matters not worth carrying. Complicated situations are often resolved more effectively through gentleness than through confrontation and hostility. Do not turn simple matters into heavy burdens merely because of excessive thinking. Those who know contentment often enjoy a more peaceful life than those who endlessly chase what they do not possess. Much of human suffering originates from meaningless comparisons between ourselves and others. There will always be people who possess less than you, and there will always be people who surpass you in some way. If comparison becomes a habit, the heart will never discover genuine satisfaction. Whenever you complain about lacking something, remember that many others lack even the basic necessities of life. Gratitude for what already exists within your life is one of the first and most important steps toward authentic happiness. If a rival can easily make you angry, it may be a sign that your inner peace is still being influenced and controlled by them. A truly strong person is not one who conquers others, but one who learns to master and govern their own emotions. Do not become overly concerned with meaningless criticism from people who neither understand your journey nor truly know your heart. Constantly replaying every insult and accusation in your mind often does nothing except increase exhaustion and inner unrest. Just as a wise person would not seek revenge against a creature acting without awareness, there is little value in retaliating against every offense. Compassion and calmness almost always create far greater value than temporary victories in pointless conflicts. Therefore, learn to treat harsh words lightly and protect the peace that resides within your own heart. Do not view your work as a burden that must be endured day after day with resentment and frustration. Instead of complaining or becoming irritated, approach your responsibilities with a positive spirit and a sense of purpose. When work is seen as an opportunity to learn, contribute, and grow, life naturally becomes more meaningful and enjoyable. People who maintain a positive outlook can transform even ordinary tasks into expressions of a beautiful and purposeful way of living. Simply waking up healthy each morning is already a blessing, far more valuable than many people realize. For that reason, cherish every day that is given to you, instead of wasting it on matters that hold little true significance. Human life is only a brief journey, so do not spend it doing things that will leave your heart filled with regret later on. Each day, the sun rises and sets once again, quietly reminding us of the unceasing movement of time. Whether we experience joy or sorrow, and the day still passes and becomes part of the past. Therefore, must strive to live in such a way that each day brings peace rather than adding new burdens to the mind. When we stop becoming overly involved in gossip, disputes, and unnecessary conflicts, life becomes remarkably lighter. A peaceful heart is a treasure so valuable that no amount of wealth can ever purchase it. The wise of old often taught that stepping back at the right moment allows us to see a wider sky and a broader horizon. Showing tolerance toward others is, in many ways, an act of kindness and love directed toward ourselves. When we learn to forgive the mistakes of others, a peaceful smile remains within the heart much longer. No matter how good a person may be, perfection remains beyond the reach of human existence. Even the deepest and most sincere relationships cannot avoid moments of misunderstanding and imperfection. When we open our hearts wide enough to embrace those imperfections, the world itself begins to feel warmer and more beautiful. Understanding serves as a bridge connecting the distances that separate one human heart from another. Because of that bridge, strangers can discover empathy, connection, and a sense of belonging together. Without understanding, people often struggle to cross the barriers created by assumptions, prejudice, and difference. Compassion is like an umbrella shielding us from the storms and hardships that naturally arise throughout life. Those who receive understanding often feel supported, protected, and less alone during their most vulnerable moments. Without understanding and compassion, this world would become far colder, lonelier, and more difficult to endure. It is understanding that guides us out of the darkness of misunderstanding and toward a broader horizon filled with possibility. Just as one crosses a small bridge to reach a bright and open road beyond, compassion leads us toward greater freedom. When hearts are illuminated by empathy and kindness, gloomy worries gradually dissolve like clouds scattered by the wind. Throughout the journey of life and its countless fortunate encounters, meeting one another is already a precious gift. Therefore, cherish the people who are presently walking beside you while the opportunity still remains. Do not allow a passing moment of anger to sweep away bonds that have been nurtured through years of care and affection. For what remains after anger fades is often nothing more than regret that arrives too late. Every person carries private sorrows, disappointments, and dreams that have not unfolded as they once hoped. At times, the weight of life's pressures can make the entire sky appear grey and colourless. In such moments, the heart becomes sensitive, and human relationships may seem fragile as delicate silk. Yet, the sun of hope remains present and has never truly abandoned anyone. Every dawn continues to arrive faithfully, bringing its gentle beauty and quiet promise of renewal. The only difference is that we sometimes stand within the shadows of our own negative thoughts. Being tolerant toward others is not weakness, but evidence of a noble and expansive heart. It is a sign of maturity, generosity, and a deep understanding of how life truly works. Thus, compassion is always a wise choice because it reduces suffering while nourishing happiness and peace. Let us build bridges of understanding and extend shelters of empathy. 5. So, this world may become warmer, kinder, and more meaningful. Let us share the finest qualities of life with one another, via allowing the light of love to spread wherever people gather. When each person plants even a single seed of goodness, the world becomes warmer and brighter, like sunlight illuminating the early morning sky. Life can never unfold exactly according to our wishes and expectations at every moment. Along the human journey, we will inevitably encounter people who disagree with us and circumstances that challenge our preferences. If we do not learn how to release and let go at the appropriate time, we risk imprisoning ourselves within prolonged frustration and fatigue. Between one person and another, there will always exist differences in understanding, experience, and spiritual development. Because everyone views life through a unique perspective, thoughts and responses naturally differ from one individual to another. For that reason, faith, misunderstandings, disagreements, and conflicts are almost impossible to avoid completely. When facing such situations, forgiveness becomes a choice that reflects both wisdom and compassionate understanding. Forgiveness is not merely a beautiful virtue. It is also a profound practice that refines the heart and elevates the spirit. It is like a sheltering umbrella that allows us to walk peacefully through the storms and uncertainties of life. Being compassionate toward others sometimes means accepting a small disadvantage in exchange for long-lasting inner peace. Patience born from wisdom has never been a sign of weakness. Surrender, force, or lack of strength. Instead, it opens the road ahead wide, making life wider, clearer, and more harmonious for ourselves. Life resembles the vast sky above, which is not always bright, blue, and pleasant. There will be days when dark clouds gather overhead, causing the heart to feel heavy and discouraged. Likewise, fate cannot endlessly offer comfort, luck, and favorable circumstances to everyone. Certain periods of life require us to taste every flavor of existence, from sweetness and joy to sorrow and loss. It is precisely these experiences that help us mature and understand the true value of happiness. Therefore, open your heart wider and learn to practice greater forgiveness and deeper understanding. Walk beyond the people and stories that bring only suffering, frustration, and emotional burdens to your soul. No matter how much hurt or exhaustion you have endured, do not allow those experiences to become lifelong chains. Good fortune and misfortune are merely stretches of road already traveled along the greater journey of life. What belongs to the past should be gently placed behind you, allowing space for new experiences and blessings to enter. Only when we learn to release what has already passed can the heart discover genuine serenity. No matter how glorious your successes once were, or how many failures you have faced, they eventually become memories. If if you have already done your very best with all the strength and sincerity available to you. There is no reason to continue tormenting yourself. Flaw. The most precious thing is not a flawless result, but the honesty and wholehearted effort invested in every step. Vain. There are many tasks in life that only you can complete on your own behalf. Vert. Likewise, Bas. There are countless emotions and experiences that only you can fully understand. First, a person with a broad and generous heart often finds life's path easier and more open. Verse. By contrast, first, when the heart becomes narrow and restrictive, for even small matters can appear overwhelming. Fair. To live well is to balance fairness and reason with kindness, gratitude, and human connection. First, do not become so attached to being right that you forget the value of sincerity and affection between people. A year moves through 4 seasons according to the natural rhythm of heaven and earth. First, yet human life offers no opportunity to reverse time and begin again from the start. Every passing day is a precious portion of life, quietly moving toward completion. Last, whatever seeds we plant today will eventually produce results that correspond to those very actions. Therefore, make every effort to sow seeds of goodness so that future harvests may be sweet and abundant. Human life is essentially contained within 3 dimensions of time: the past, the present, and the future. Yesterday is like water that has already flowed downstream and can never return. Today exists before us now, yet every passing second is already becoming memory. Tomorrow will surely arrive, yet it too will pass as swiftly as every day before it. In what feels like a single blink, 1 year ends and another quietly begins. Only when we look back do we realize how an entire lifetime has slipped by in silence. Only by releasing yesterday and cherishing the present can we avoid living with regret. If a person lives entirely through emotion without sufficient awareness, they can easily become trapped in sorrow and attachment. Yet if a person relies only on logic without compassion, life becomes dry, distant, and cold. Without difficult turns and obstacles, there would be little meaning in achievement and growth. Without affliction and suffering, it would be difficult to fully appreciate peace and happiness. As long as life exists, bitterness and sweetness will always be woven together. As long as we are human, changes in circumstances and human hearts remain unavoidable. Everyone hopes for smooth sailing and wishes to encounter as few storms as possible. Everyone hopes that relationships will endure and that beloved companions will never drift apart. Yet life has never promised to unfold exactly according to human desires. Some situations become far lighter once we clearly understand their true nature. Some people cease to trouble our hearts once we truly see and understand who they are. Often in life, there is no need to calculate every detail or divide every matter into absolute categories. There are times when we give our very best and still cannot avoid criticism from others. For that reason, maintain a light and open spirit rather than carrying unnecessary burdens within your heart. Forwarded. When attachment loosens its grip, life naturally becomes more relaxed, spacious, and free. Found. Simply appreciating the people who are still present before you is already something profoundly valuable. Found. Do your responsibilities with sincerity, vowed dedication, and the very best of your ability, but living honestly, kindly, bound, and without betraying your conscience is one of the strongest foundations for lasting happiness. Found. Every wholesome deed planted today will eventually ripen into deserving fruits in the future. Verse. Having less money than someone else is not a matter of great importance, or true wealth is measured by far more than material possessions alone. Vest. What is truly dangerous is allowing your determination, vision, and aspirations to become small, limited, and impoverished. Bard. Never allow temporary hardship or scarcity to restrict your ability to grow or to diminish the horizon of your dreams. But even if you have not yet reached the highest peaks of success, must strive to become a person whose life brings benefit to others. Vows. The value of a human being is not determined by how much they possess, bound, but by what they contribute to the world around them. Ving. Physical appearance may not be perfect, but do not allow your heart to become distorted by selfishness or negativity. Verse. True beauty always arises from kindness, compassion, bound, and the goodness that lives within a person's character. Thus, those with pure intentions and noble hearts earn respect and affection, even while living simple and ordinary lives. Bound. A modest appearance or humble circumstances can never diminish the true worth of a human being. Vey. What should be avoided is allowing the heart to become narrow, judgmental, bound, and lacking in compassion. Few people genuinely admire those who live only for themselves and think solely of their own interests. Vow. By contrast, a generous heart has the power to touch, comfort, and inspire countless other hearts. Verse. Even if someone is physically frail or continues to face many difficulties, a kind person still brings warmth wherever they go. Found. It is compassion and goodness that form the most enduring beauty a person can possess throughout an entire lifetime. Having slightly less physical strength than others is not truly concerning. But allowing the spirit to become weak and defeated is. People who lack inner strength often fall easily into pessimism, self-doubt, and a loss of confidence in themselves. Therefore, continually cultivate courage, resilience, and the ability to guide your own life with wisdom. It is acceptable to move more slowly than others at times, but never allow your mind to drift into confusion or ignorance. Always remind yourself to keep your heart clear and your mind bright enough to see beyond immediate rewards and temptations. Those who think deeply and carefully often avoid many mistakes that impulsive decisions would otherwise create. Firmness. There are moments when firmness is necessary to protect what is right. But firmness should never become cruelty or arrogance. When greed and selfishness overpower conscience, people gradually lose the goodness that originally existed within them. If negative intentions begin controlling your actions, you will ultimately be the first person harmed by their consequences. Found. Intelligence is valuable, thought, but never allow a little knowledge to become a reason for looking down on others. 4. Those who possess genuine wisdom often become more humble and more willing to listen as their understanding grows. 5. If you always believe that only you are right and everyone else is wrong, then you may be the one most deeply mistaken. 5. At times, it is necessary to rest and recover, found, but rest should never become an excuse for laziness or avoidance. 4. Responsibilities entrusted to you deserve to be completed with wholehearted effort, sincerity, and dedication. 5. People who take responsibility for their work are also demonstrating respect for themselves. Fleet, nurture a spirit of contribution, for it adds meaning and purpose to every stage of life. Found, do not become someone who only receives from others while neglecting to offer anything valuable in return. Frugality is a noble virtue. Fair, yet it should never become an obsession that measures everything solely through money. For when wealth becomes the only standard by which all things are judged, best, the richness of the soul gradually disappears. Found, those who place excessive importance on material possessions often lose sight of life's most sacred human values. Face, in the end, they may find themselves serving money rather than using money as a tool for meaningful living. Phrase, being tolerant toward others is admirable, but wisdom must always accompany kindness. Found, do not allow your goodwill to be exploited in ways that encourage harmful behavior to continue. For a compassionate person still needs principles, self-respect, force, and discernment to protect what is right. 5. There are periods when life forces us to endure great hardship. Found, yet we should never accept suffering as our permanent condition. Phrase, what matters most is learning how to rise again and discover a path forward. 5. Many of life's finest blessings arrive through patience and trust rather than through competition and force. Bard, those who know how to wait with wisdom often gain access to more stable and lasting rewards. Fard. When we become too impatient, base, we may overlook happiness that is already making its way toward us. Then, learn to appreciate every experience, found, both great and small, with gratitude and mindful awareness. Fact, one day, when you look back, Bard, you may realize that those ordinary moments were among life's greatest treasures. 5. Many blessings are recognized only after they have already become memories of yesterday. 4. If two people truly share a meaningful connection, found, neither time nor distance can permanently separate them. Thought. Conversely, bond, when a connection has reached its natural conclusion, or even constant proximity cannot preserve it. Vice. Every encounter carries its own purpose, guided by the mysterious unfolding of causes and conditions. 5. Perhaps people must travel through many different chapters of life before genuine maturity can emerge. 4. Only after experiencing both triumph and struggle do we fully understand the true value of living. Faced. When you clearly understand another person, yet still choose silence, bond, you begin to understand the meaning of forgiveness. Find. When you do not particularly like someone yet continue treating them with respect. 5. You are stepping toward emotional maturity. First, respect is not determined by affection or dislike, thought, but arises from character, understanding, and wisdom. Phrase. True maturity is not measured by age or by the number of years one has spent alive. Faith. Nor is it determined by how many places one has visited or how many stories one has experienced. Friend. Real maturity is knowing when to let go and when to practice patience. Faith. It is the ability to reduce unnecessary conflicts while preserving peace within the heart. Faced. Every human being carries wounds and sorrows that are uniquely their own. Funded. Those feelings do not disappear simply because time passes. Fair. Rather, far. People eventually realize that speaking about certain pains cannot change the outcome. Vower. Sometimes, repeatedly, revisiting old wounds only makes the heart more fragile and exhausted. Vide. There are hurts we stop discussing, not because we no longer care, fast, but because we understand that only time can heal them. Vect. Instead of resisting or resenting those wounds, face. Wise people choose to face them with calmness, patience, and understanding. Vide. As time quietly passes, those painful experiences gradually settle and transform into valuable lessons for the future. Wise. True maturity is the ability to keep smiling even while life continues presenting difficulties and challenges. Fund. It is the capacity to transform suffering into understanding and to turn adversity into motivation for growth. Farm. Even if your present circumstances are not yet as you wish them to be, face them courageously rather than running away. Face. No difficulty has ever been resolved simply by turning your back on it. Fate. Do not waste precious time complaining about fate or constantly lamenting your circumstances. 5. Each person's life is given only once in this world. Fact. And therefore deserves to be cherished and respected. Vowed. Whether the journey proves long or short, every day that passes remains an irreplaceable gift. Vown. Life continues moving forward, regardless of whether we feel joyful or sorrowful today. 5. The road ahead continues opening itself with every step we choose to take. Friend. There are moments when we must advance boldly, footing, and other moments when stepping back allows reflection and adjustment. Faced. No one in this world is completely perfect in every way. Fact. Likewise, flaw, no occupation or achievement can ever attain flawless perfection in all aspects. Faith. When encountering a narrow-minded person, bars, do not rush into competitions over who is right or wrong. Fight. Such calculations often create nothing more than additional complications and unnecessary exhaustion. 5. When facing a complicated situation, it becomes even more important to maintain calmness and clarity of mind. Found. If we become concerned about every little thing, faith, we ourselves will be the ones who lose the most energy. And the world is vast, vested, yet human hearts are endlessly diverse and complex. Vab. Therefore, payment, meeting difficult people or encountering unfavorable circumstances is simply part of life. Faith. This world is filled with dust, change, and uncertainty. Passion. So, afflictions are sometimes unavoidable companions on the journey. Fact. What truly matters is not avoiding every challenge, fruity, but learning to view life through a lighter and more spacious perspective. Think deeply enough to understand, but not so much that you imprison yourself within endless worries. Fact. when misunderstood or hurt by others. Silence is sometimes the wisest response available. Once the situation has passed, you may even smile upon realizing it never deserved so much suffering. If today offers no brilliant sunshine, listen instead to the wind and appreciate the beauty of falling rain. If life does not present perfection, learn to discover beauty within ordinary moments and simple surroundings. If applause never arrives, learn to enjoy the peace found within quiet and undisturbed moments. Time continues, turning silently, and the years continue changing without pause. Therefore, stop feeding unnecessary complaints, grievances, and sorrows that serve no beneficial purpose. Release some of your calculations and worries so that your heart may become lighter and more peaceful. Along life's dusty road, continue walking with tranquility residing within your heart. Always cherish the sincere relationships that causes and conditions have brought into your life. Maintain a positive spirit, regardless of how circumstances continue to change around you. Whenever emotions become overwhelming, take a slow and mindful breath to restore balance to your mind. When difficulties arise, do not focus solely on obstacles, but search for opportunities hidden within them. If you experience failure, rise again with courage and make another sincere effort to restore hope, confidence, and determination. Learn to face yourself honestly. Open your heart toward life, and practice forgiveness so that each day becomes gentler and more peaceful. Approach your work with humility and treat people with sincere kindness. These qualities form the foundation of a joyful life. No one can truly give you lasting peace except yourself. So return often to care for your own inner world. Practice relaxing your mind, and distance yourself from conversations and influences that continually generate negativity. Do not nourish resentment or anger within your heart, because they ultimately wound the one carrying them. Learn to forget what is no longer worth holding and forgive what once caused pain. Do not envy others, but instead learn to accept what lies beyond your ability to control. Each day, cultivate a little more patience and expand a little more compassion toward both people and life itself. Avoid viewing every situation solely through a personal perspective, and learn to consider multiple viewpoints. Do not remain trapped within memories of the past while neglecting the present and losing sight of the future. Set aside a quiet period each day to reflect upon yourself and allow your mind to rest amid life's constant pace. One of the most effective ways to cultivate inner peace is through the practice of mindful walking in daily life. When the soul becomes calm and relaxed, the body also recovers positive energy more quickly. Inner peace remains one of the greatest sources of strength for navigating life's uncertainties. When negative thoughts or sadness appear, gently acknowledge them and then allow them to pass. Some circumstances lie completely beyond our power to change, and therefore must be accepted through mindful awareness. rather than reacting impulsively. Found. Observe carefully and evaluate situations with greater clarity and wisdom. Found. Train yourself to recognize happiness within the simplest experiences of everyday life. Fact. Treat joy and gratitude as daily practices that nourish and strengthen the heart. Felt. Smile often at yourself. Freely offer sincere smiles to the people around you. Fact. When your heart is filled with genuine joy, found, the people around you will naturally feel the warmth and positive energy that radiates from your presence. But whenever possible, make an effort to bring happiness and encouragement to those who are walking beside you in life. Fact. When you see someone struggling through hardship, be willing to offer help. 5. Even if it comes through the smallest gesture. Find the happiness that appears on the face of someone you have helped is itself a precious gift returned to your own heart. Never forget those who once entered your life and made your world brighter, warmer, and more hopeful. Found. Spend more time appreciating and caring for the people who supported and uplifted you during your most difficult moments. Active. Reducing the habit of judging or criticizing others will spare your heart from many unnecessary negative emotions. Found. The less importance you place upon winning, losing, gaining, or comparing, the more peaceful and pure your mind becomes. Fame, wealth, and material possessions are ultimately temporary things drifting through this impermanent world. Not a single one of those things can accompany you when the time comes to leave this life behind. Faith, joys, and sorrows, anger and resentment, will gradually fade away beneath the passage of time. After everything has passed, what remains is the condition of the heart you have nurtured throughout your life. So, why not learn to live more gently, allowing every day to become an opportunity for peace. Practice releasing what is unnecessary, and many of your afflictions will naturally dissolve along with it. When facing difficulties in life, excessive complaining rarely improves the situation. Sometimes the most valuable thing we can do is remain silent and listen deeply to the voice of our own heart. Speaking less and listening more often helps us adjust our inner state with greater wisdom and balance. There are moments when silence carries more value and healing power than countless spoken words. Meditation is one of the paths that leads the heart toward clarity, stability, and peace. The true essence of meditation lies in awareness and mindfulness, rather than external appearances or rituals, vows. One does not need to sit in a specific posture for meditation to exist. Whenever the mind returns fully to the present moment without being swept away by illusions, meditation is already present. If each day is lived joyfully and wholeheartedly in the present, vitality naturally becomes stronger and more abundant. A person who lives in harmony with nature resembles a plant nourished by the earth and sky. Such a person can blossom like a flower, spreading beauty and fragrance wherever they go. At those moments, it almost feels as though nature itself is quietly offering its blessings. Authentic joy possesses the power to make a person more graceful, attractive, and approachable. Meanwhile, Prolonged resentment and suffering tend to weigh heavily upon both appearance and spirit. Vase. The wise often said that outward appearance reflects the inner mind, or our state of heart inevitably shapes our presence. 5. A smile is like a clear mirror, reflecting the beauty of a peaceful and contented soul. 8. Every seed planted within the field of consciousness will eventually sprout and produce corresponding fruit. Found. When the heart is filled with joy, the harvest that follows often appears as bright and genuine smiles. Vase. When the mind continually stores suffering, bound, lingering sadness naturally becomes more visible in life. Bind. If resentment is repeatedly nurtured, the inevitable result is unrest, frustration, and inner turmoil. When love and kindness are planted, the resulting harvest is compassion, understanding, and generosity. Conversely, if unhealthy intentions are allowed to grow, life gradually moves toward darker directions. Every person bears responsibility for choosing which seeds will be planted within the garden of the mind. We cannot control the weather itself. But we can always change the way we choose to view it. Do not become upset simply because it is raining, or rain also carries its own gifts and purposes. Rain cools the earth, nourishes life, and helps countless living things flourish. Likewise, do not resent the sunlight, or light helps us see the road before us more clearly. Every phenomenon in life contains multiple dimensions and lessons waiting to be understood. First, a wise person searches for positive meaning, even within circumstances that appear unfavorable. Do not remain trapped in nostalgia for the past, because doing so only increases the weight carried by the heart. Letting go means allowing what has already passed to return to its rightful place within the flow of time. Those who truly understand letting go neither live endlessly within old memories nor obsess over an uncertain future. Instead, they dwell fully in the present moment, appreciating life as it unfolds and discovering happiness here and now. To remain grounded in the present rather than constantly chasing distant fantasies is a deeply mindful and peaceful way of living. Refusing to allow your heart to remain chained to those who have already departed from your life is a sign of genuine freedom. When you have given your very best and the outcome still differs from your hopes, remaining calm is a true understanding of living according to causes and conditions. Not suffering over what you do not possess and not grieving endlessly over what cannot be attained are signs of a liberated spirit. To preserve your true nature amid the noise and distractions of the world without losing yourself is a rare and valuable form of wisdom. Those who understand life do not blindly follow the crowd, but instead listen carefully to the quiet truth within their own hearts. Every breath entering and leaving the body is evidence that the miracle of life is still unfolding in this very moment. To cherish each breath and every present moment is to understand how to live deeply, consciously, and meaningfully. People who possess loving kindness are always careful with their words, ensuring they do not create unnecessary pain for anyone. Gentle speech can heal wounds that anger and impatience once created. 4. Before taking any action, ask yourself whether it will bring suffering to yourself or to another living being. 5. When you recognize that an action may lead toward harmful consequences, fine. Choosing to stop is itself an expression of wisdom. 5. Compassion begins with the ability to recognize and prevent unwholesome thoughts from taking root within the mind. 4. Open your heart wide and allow compassion to bloom like a pure lotus, rising gracefully above the waters of the world. Vow, whether someone is familiar or a complete stranger, every person deserves respect, dignity, and understanding. Let the gentle rain of loving kindness soak deeply into your thoughts, your words, and your actions. 5. Just as sunrise eventually gives way to sunset, follow all things, follow the natural law of impermanence. Therefore, 5. Do not allow anyone to be wounded by actions that lack love, patience, or compassion. 4. Even when your hair has turned silver with age, continue carrying a gentle smile upon your lips. Vound. Do not spend your days regretting what has already passed. But nurture joy, forgiveness, and compassion in the present moment. 5. The road leading back to inner peace remains open to everyone who knows how to love, share, and care for others. 5. When you have lived wholeheartedly and sincerely, even lonely evenings will no longer feel burdensome or sad. 4. Every new day that begins with gratitude becomes a meaningful day worthy of being lived. Bound. Learn to release memories and burdens that no longer serve any valuable purpose in your life. Vound. Do not allow temptations or misguided influences to erode your character, your integrity, or your strength of spirit. 5. As long as tomorrow still arrives, beautiful opportunities continue waiting somewhere ahead. Vard. Human life may be brief, 5, yet every single day of existence is a magnificent blessing. Vard. Be thankful that you are still able to witness the beauty that surrounds you in this world. Flowers in bloom, seasons of abundance, void, and peaceful moments are all precious gifts, deserving appreciation. Farm. Only after experiencing conflict do we truly understand the immense value of tolerance and forgiveness. Vide. Only after facing many disappointments do we fully appreciate the preciousness of generosity and understanding. Vide. Only after meeting many different kinds of people do we learn the meaning of genuine friendship. Fail. After enduring failures, people finally learn to treasure the wisdom life has given them. Vide. After experiencing success, we come to understand the value of determination and sustained effort. After many falls and setbacks, people learn humility and develop the courage to examine themselves honestly. Having experienced deception, we begin to recognize sincerity as one of life's most precious qualities. Fame. After traveling through fame, gain, and competition files, we eventually discover the freedom hidden within letting go. After years of being shaken by life's uncertainties, we realize that inner tranquility is a priceless treasure. Only after being bound by countless attachments do we truly understand how precious freedom really is. After enduring enough suffering, we learn to cherish the simple moments of peace and contentment. Vide. There are evenings when fading sunlight along an old path causes the heart to grow quiet before the reality of impermanence. 5. All joys and sorrows, loves and dislikes, bide, and the countless emotions we once carried will eventually drift away with the wind. 5. One day we will smile while looking back at the things that once occupied our thoughts for so many years. Bide. When we understand that true happiness lies in giving rather than possessing, bound, the heart becomes remarkably lighter. Bar. The quiet call of impermanence continually reminds us that everything is destined to change. Vard. In the end, 5. What can we truly carry with us besides the wholesome or unwholesome actions we have created? Vide. Eventually, we awaken to the realization that everything in this world gradually fades beneath the passage of time. Bond. Nothing remains forever except the unending process of transformation itself. Vi. One day, we suddenly realize that we too have grown old through the passing years. Bard. The brilliant dreams of youth slowly retreat into the distant landscape of memory. If we spend all our time living within old memories, the present gradually becomes dry and lifeless. Find. Many people spend an entire lifetime gathering possessions while forgetting to care for their own hearts. Base. They often become so busy accumulating material things that they overlook the priceless value of the present moment. Found. A human lifetime passes as quickly as a blink within the endless river of time. Find. Countless people spend their years lost in gain and loss, fade, only to leave behind fading memories. Found. After laughing and crying with life for many years, we begin to understand the deeper nature of human existence. Vars. This body itself is formed through countless conditions coming together for, and therefore can never truly belong to us forever. Found. So why carry endless ambitions and desires that ultimately become causes of suffering? Bound. There are peaceful mornings beside a flowing river when the heart suddenly feels vast and boundless. Vast. When the mind becomes still, find, we begin hearing the subtle music of life's hidden wonders. Vest. At the deepest level of awareness, where divisions and separations between people gradually disappear. Fold. Coming into this world, face. Human beings ultimately face only two great realities, birth and death. Find. One was completed the moment we entered life with our first cry, faith, while the other will arrive in its own proper time. 5. Therefore, there is no need to rush anxiously toward things that have not yet happened. Found. Everything arrives when the proper conditions are present and departs when those conditions are exhausted. Vars. Excessive craving and attachment often do nothing except tire the heart and disturb the mind. Faith. A truly wise person does not allow praise or criticism from the world to determine their worth. Found. Neither do they live in fear of the opinions, judgments, or expectations of others. 5. What matters most is understanding oneself clearly and continuing to improve day after day. Found. Patiently recognizing and correcting one's own shortcomings is itself a noble and meaningful spiritual practice. Found. The greatest loneliness in human life is not the absence of people around us, but the absence of a spiritual refuge where the heart can safely rest. Find. When people do not know how to direct their minds toward goodness and virtue, Vald. They can easily lose their way in the vastness of life. Varm. Whether we admit it or not. The strength of our inner world ultimately determines the quality of our outer experience. If the heart remains filled with beautiful thoughts and wholesome intentions, very little in life will possess the power to disturb our peace. Fact, a truly kind person rarely allows resentment or hatred to grow toward anyone. Find, when we live simply and sincerely, the chaos of the world finds it far more difficult to shake our inner balance. Living with goodness nourishes the body, calms the mind, and allows sleep to become deeper and more peaceful. Acts of kindness, born from genuine sincerity, always leave beautiful traces upon the path of life. When we abandon suspicion and prejudice, the world around us begins to feel warmer, closer, and more welcoming. When we stop measuring people through comparisons of gain and loss, the distance between human hearts gradually disappears. When anger is no longer nourished, then the sky within the heart remains bright, warm, and filled with light. When we lose interest in conflict and competition, life becomes gentler, calmer, and far easier to enjoy. True stillness does not mean sitting motionless without movement, but maintaining inner peace regardless of external circumstances. It is the ability to listen deeply to the voice of nature and to feel life quietly flourishing all around us. Lasting stability is always born from within, never from the temporary conditions of the outside world. Human beings spend their entire lives striving and pursuing countless goals. Yet, in the end, they cannot carry any of those things away. No matter how much wealth, status, or recognition is accumulated, everything must eventually be left behind. Whether rich or poor, every person ultimately arrives at the same destination at the end of life's journey. Therefore, while the opportunity still exists, live wholeheartedly and cherish the people you love. Do not spend your life chasing dazzling standards and empty appearances while forgetting what truly matters. Human life is remarkably brief, which makes every meeting and every relationship worthy of appreciation. Countless promises remain unfinished. While people we once knew have already become distant memories. Some companions walked beside us only yesterday, yet today there is no longer an opportunity to meet them again. For this reason, while destiny still allows people to remain together, avoid creating regrets that will later burden your heart. Think excessively. Do not cling too tightly, and do not demand more than life is prepared to offer. Everything that appears in our lives is meant to be experienced and learned from, not possessed forever. We are merely travelers, resting briefly beside the great river of existence. Eventually, every person must say farewell to all the things and people they once loved. Therefore, calmly accept what has already passed and warmly welcome what is arriving with a peaceful smile. Letting go means placing past experiences back into their proper place within the flow of time. Those who understand release do not remain imprisoned by old memories, nor do they become obsessed with uncertain futures. They dwell fully within the present moment. Fast, appreciating each breath and discovering happiness within what already exists. Verse, to remain grounded in the present without constantly chasing distant fantasies is a deeply mindful and peaceful way to live. Find, refusing to let the heart remain chained to those who have already departed is a sign of authentic freedom. Fast, when you have given your best effort and outcomes still differ from your hopes. Find, remaining calm demonstrates true understanding of life's natural unfolding. Fast, not suffering because of what you lack. Find, and not grieving endlessly over what cannot be attained. Vex, a liberated spirit. Fard, maintaining your true nature amid the noise and distractions of the world without losing yourself is a rare form of wisdom. 5. Those who understand life do not blindly follow the crowd, but instead listen carefully to the quiet truth within. Fine. Every breath entering and leaving the body is proof that the miracle of life continues unfolding in this very moment. 5. To cherish each breath and every passing moment is to live deeply, consciously, full, and with genuine appreciation. Filled. People filled with loving kindness remain careful with their words. Find, ensuring they do not create unnecessary pain for others. Found, gentle speech possesses the power to heal wounds that anger and impatience once created. Or, before taking any action, Waqt, ask whether it will bring suffering to yourself or to another living being. Fund, when you recognize that an action may lead to harmful consequences. 5. Choosing to stop becomes an expression of wisdom. Found, compassion begins with the ability to recognize and prevent unwholesome intentions from growing within the mind. Bears, open your heart wide and allow compassion to blossom like a pure lotus flower rising gracefully above the waters of worldly life. First, whether someone is a familiar companion or a complete stranger, pray. Every person deserves to be treated with respect, dignity, and understanding. First, let the gentle rain of loving kindness soak deeply into your thoughts. Pray, your words, found, and every action you take free. Just as the dawn eventually gives way to sunset, follow. All things follow the timeless law of impermanence. Verse. Therefore, never allow another person to be wounded by actions lacking in love, patience, or compassion. First, even when your hair has turned silver with age. Vard, continue carrying a gentle and peaceful smile upon your lips. Fine, do not spend your days regretting what has already passed. Then, but instead, nurture joy, forgiveness, and compassion in the present moment. Faith. The path leading back to inner peace remains open to all who know how to love, share, and care for others. For when you have lived sincerely and wholeheartedly, bound, even lonely evenings will no longer feel empty or sorrowful. Free. Every day that begins with gratitude becomes a day filled with meaning and quiet beauty. Free. Learn to release memories and burdens that no longer serve a meaningful purpose within your life. Fault. Do not allow temptations or misguided influences to weaken your character, your integrity, found, or your strength of spirit. Vert. As long as tomorrow still arrives, fine. Beautiful opportunities will continue waiting somewhere ahead. Fact. Human life may be brief, first, yet every day we are allowed to live remains an extraordinary blessing. Vary. Be grateful that you can still witness the beauty that quietly surrounds you in this world. Flowers in bloom. 5. Seasons of abundance, fight, and peaceful moments are treasures worthy of appreciation. Fight. Only after experiencing conflict do we truly understand the immense value of tolerance and forgiveness. 4. Only after facing disappointment do we fully appreciate the preciousness of generosity and understanding. 5. Only after meeting many different kinds of people do we learn the meaning of sincere friendship. Failures. After enduring failures, people finally learn to treasure the wisdom life has given them. First, after experiencing success, we come to understand the true value of determination and persistent effort. Third, after many falls and setbacks, we learn humility and develop the courage to examine ourselves honestly. Fourth, having experienced deception, we begin to recognize sincerity as one of the most precious qualities in life. Fame. After journeying through fame, gain, pride, and competition, we eventually discover the freedom hidden within letting go. 5. After years of being shaken by life's uncertainties, we realize that inner tranquility is a treasure beyond price. 5. Only after being bound by countless attachments do we truly understand how precious freedom really is. 5. After enduring enough suffering, we learn to cherish the simple moments of peace and contentment. But there are evenings when fading sunlight upon an old path causes the heart to grow still before the reality of impermanence. 5. All joys and sorrows, loves and dislikes, and the countless emotions we once carried will eventually drift away with the wind. Veils. One day, we will smile while looking back at the things that once occupied our thoughts for so many years. Yes, when we understand that true happiness lies in giving rather than possessing, the heart becomes remarkably lighter. Vice. The quiet voice of impermanence continually reminds us that everything is destined to change. Vice. In the end, what can we truly carry with us besides the wholesome or unwholesome actions we have created? Eventually, we awaken to the realization that everything in this world gradually fades beneath the passage of time. Nothing remains forever except the unending process of transformation itself. One day we suddenly realize that we too have grown old through the passing years. The brilliant dreams of youth slowly retreat into the distant landscape of memory. If we spend all our time living within old memories, the present gradually becomes dry, fragile, and lifeless. Many people spend an entire lifetime gathering possessions while forgetting to care for their own hearts. They become so busy accumulating material things that they overlook the priceless value of the present moment. A human lifetime passes as quickly as a blink within the endless river of time. Countless people spend their years lost in gain and loss, only to leave behind little more than fading memories. After laughing and crying with life through many passing years, we gradually begin to understand the deeper truths hidden within the human journey. This body itself arises from countless conditions coming together and therefore can never truly belong to us forever. So, why carry endless ambitions and desires that ultimately become causes of suffering and unrest. There are peaceful mornings beside a flowing river when the heart suddenly feels vast, open, and boundless. When the mind becomes still and quiet, we begin to hear the subtle music of life's hidden wonders. Faith, at the deepest level of awareness, the divisions and separations between people gradually begin to disappear. Coming into this world, human beings ultimately face only two great realities: birth and death. One was completed the moment we entered life with our first cry, while the other will arrive in its own proper time. Therefore, there is no need to rush anxiously toward events that have not yet appeared. Everything arrives when the necessary conditions are present, and everything departs when those conditions are exhausted. Excessive craving and attachment often do nothing except tire the heart and disturb the peace of the mind. A truly wise person does not allow praise or criticism from the world to determine their worth. Neither do they live in fear of the opinions, expectations, or judgments of others. What matters most is understanding oneself clearly and continuing to improve day after day. Patiently recognizing and correcting one's own shortcomings is itself a noble and meaningful spiritual practice. Along the road of life, there is no path completely free from twists, obstacles, and unexpected challenges. Those winding roads do not exist to defeat us, but to teach patience and help us mature into stronger individuals. Every challenge we overcome becomes a valuable opportunity to strengthen our willpower and deepen our inner resilience. No matter how disappointed you may feel, do not surrender to despair. But remember the people who still place their faith and hope in you. Think of the sacrifices and unconditional love of your family, and allow their devotion to inspire you to rise once more. Even when discouragement appears and you feel tempted to give up, do not immediately blame circumstances for everything. Very often, the thing most in need of change is not the world around us, but our own perspective. Learn to appreciate every decision you have made, because each one carries lessons necessary for growth and maturity. Even when life remains difficult, avoid excessive complaints, for every person carries burdens invisible to others. No one can accompany us forever, and therefore we must gradually learn how to become stronger each day. In moments of sadness or exhaustion, the most important thing is learning how to comfort and support your own heart. If there are still people who love you and worry about your well-being, then live courageously so they may feel at peace. Even when no one offers encouragement or applause, you must still learn to stand up and continue walking forward. Even if admiration never comes from others, continue living kindly and spreading goodness like a flower sharing its fragrance. Observe the grass beside the road and the leaves resting upon the branches, and learn from their quiet simplicity. Though small and humble, they live every moment fully and express all the vitality they possess. Human life is fragile and impermanent, which is why the value of health should never be underestimated. Fame. Neither wealth nor fame can purchase a healthy body once it has already been lost. Found. When anger begins to rise, bide. Avoid speaking harsh words too quickly, for such moments often leave lasting regret. Faced. Words spoken without mindfulness can wound another person's heart far more deeply than we imagine. 4. Learn to forgive those who once caused you pain. Fast, so your heart may become lighter, freer, and more peaceful. Found. No matter how difficult life becomes, faith. Never lose faith in the goodness and beauty still waiting ahead. There. Every flower requires time before it blossoms. Then, just as every happiness requires patience, trust, and perseverance. Faith. Whether a person's character is noble or still imperfect, first, one virtue should never be forgotten. There. Honoring one's parents. For one day, we too will grow old, and only then may we fully understand the sacred value of family love. Faith. Never forget those who extended a helping hand during your most difficult moments. For gratitude is among the finest human virtues. Found. Do not nurture resentment toward those who once cared for you. Found. Because every meeting arises through causes and conditions. Found. And never betray the people who have offered you their sincere trust from the deepest corners of their hearts. Fact. In truth, faith. No hardship lasts forever when a person possesses perseverance, courage, and determination. Fair. Likewise, for no relationship remains forever when it is no longer valued, protected, and nurtured with care. Fact. When something has lost its original meaning and purpose, letting go may become the most loving choice available. You may stumble, barking, experience heartbreak, fast, and shed tears along the path of growth and transformation. Fact. Yet, regardless of circumstances, never surrender to hopelessness. Fast. Because every form of suffering can become a precious lesson. Wise. The tears you shed today may become the foundation upon which tomorrow's strength and wisdom are built. Vart. Every scar left by life can eventually transform into a source of resilience and courage. Bide. Often, it is the difficult experiences themselves that provide the wisdom needed to continue moving forward. 5. Life is not nearly as terrible as many people imagine. Bide. We simply tend to view it through eyes clouded by worry and fear. Found. Both success and failure can become valuable teachers. 5. Provided we reflect upon them with humility and understanding. Fear. Triumphs and setbacks alike are unique landscapes that appear along every person's path toward growth, wisdom, thought, and self-discovery. Found. When the heart becomes peaceful and pure, happiness naturally reveals itself within even the simplest moments of daily life. Fend. Whether we desire it or not, there. Time continues, flowing forward without pause and never waits for anyone. Vess. Instead of constantly worrying about distant events that have not yet arrived, Bard. Preserve peace within your heart, right here and now. Every day, strive to become a little stronger than the day before, because no one else can live your life on your behalf. Face. Remain patient a little longer. Persevere a little further. Act and continue trusting the path upon which you are walking, even when you cannot yet see the light waiting at the end of the road. Faith. Do not abandon faith in yourself. Fair. those who trust themselves possess the strength needed to move beyond limits that once appeared impossible to overcome. Have the courage to embrace challenges greater than your present abilities, and you will discover hidden potential resting deep within your being. After many sincere and persistent efforts, you will realize that your capabilities are far more extraordinary than you once believed. Human life is not a road covered only with ease and comfort. The wise learn to accept every change with a peaceful smile and an open heart. Gently wipe away the tears born from suffering. Set down yesterday's hardships and continue walking the path you have consciously chosen. Persist in doing what is right with sincerity and dedication. And in time, life itself will gradually become more beautiful and harmonious. There are far fewer things to fear in this life than we often imagine, especially when we live with mindfulness and confidence in ourselves. If you are the author writing the story of your own life, do not turn its pages into a long tale filled only with sorrow and misfortune. Do not stand forever in a distant corner of life, waiting for the future, while allowing anxiety and fear to consume your heart. Life has never truly been overly complicated. People often create unnecessary suffering by becoming trapped within tangled thoughts. Those who understand the principles of life continually practice simplicity, allowing their hearts to remain light, peaceful, and at ease. Ultimately, human life is only a brief journey through the vast realm of impermanence that encompasses the world. Wealth, status, and worldly glory are as fragile as morning dew resting upon a flower petal beneath the dawn. When we enter this world, we bring nothing with us back, and when we leave, we can take nothing away. Therefore, gain and loss are not worthy of excessive attachment, worry, or suffering. Learning to move in harmony with the natural laws of life is among the shortest paths leading toward genuine inner peace. There are matters which, when the time is right to release them, bring a sense of relief, unlike anything previously experienced. There are people whose memory alone can bring a gentle smile to our lips and a quiet happiness to our hearts. Certain forms of pain, when viewed through the lens of understanding, become powerful sources of wisdom and growth. Becoming overly preoccupied with a single issue only traps the mind within endless circles of confusion and struggle. In truth, even the simplest matter can become complicated when we think about it far more than necessary. All you need is a calm mind and an open heart. And in time, every situation will pass with far more ease and gentleness than expected. Then, life will leave you with peaceful seasons of contentment. Instead of endless days burdened by anxiety, confusion, and sorrow. We come into this world only to leave it again someday. And even the grandest dreams eventually dissolve into emptiness like evening clouds fading across the sky. Many people mistakenly treat this temporary inn of life as their permanent home, and in doing so create countless attachments and unnecessary suffering. Only yesterday, the flowers seemed radiant with color and beauty, yet, before long, they wither beneath the silent passage of time. Meetings, once filled with laughter and joy, eventually become distant memories, resting quietly within the heart. Both happiness and sorrow will one day drift away upon the wind, like autumn clouds disappearing beyond the horizon. For before we realize it, familiar faces have departed, and cherished dreams have quietly entered the realm of impermanence. Time continues, knocking gently upon the door of human existence, reminding us of the fragile nature of life itself. People spend their lives rushing and striving, yet, in the end, all victories, losses, and comparisons become little more than passing illusions. One day we look into a mirror and suddenly realize that our hair has slowly begun to turn grey. Eventually, we come to understand that the greatest wisdom is not found in holding on best, but in knowing how to let go. When we release what was never truly ours to keep, our shoulders feel lighter and our hearts become more peaceful. The sunset of human life arrives quietly, very like a small ferry reaching its final shore at the end of a long journey. Upon reaching a certain age, many people naturally lose interest in places that are excessively noisy and crowded. A calm and balanced state of mind is one of the most precious medicines for maintaining both physical health and emotional well-being. What matters most is not whether our material circumstances are wealthy or modest, but whether our hearts remain peaceful and content with what life has provided. As long as the heart remains calm and grateful, we are already living a life worthy of appreciation and fulfillment. Some matters become increasingly exhausting the more tightly we cling to them, which is why allowing them to pass naturally is sometimes the wisest choice. Things that cannot be fully understood do not always require a perfect explanation or final answer. Those who merely pass through our lives can be regarded as brief karmic encounters, deserving a gentle farewell rather than endless attachment. If we remember only our hurts and never learn how to release them, the heart eventually becomes weighed down by accumulated sorrow. If we focus only on gain and loss without cultivating compassion, life gradually loses much of its beauty and meaning. If we pride ourselves solely on cleverness while neglecting sincerity and simplicity, genuine peace remains difficult to discover. Overthinking is often one of the primary reasons life becomes complicated and unnecessarily painful. To live simply and authentically is actually a profound spiritual achievement that not everyone can attain. By maintaining wholesome and positive thoughts, many difficulties naturally become easier to endure and overcome. People with clear and luminous hearts know how to transform life's experiences into lessons and blessings for growth. Because of this, they rarely remain trapped in sadness, always finding hidden value within every circumstance. Those who understand life's deeper truths allow events to unfold according to causes and conditions rather than forcing outcomes through attachment. What truly belongs within your path will return to you at the proper time and under the proper conditions. Conversely, whatever is not meant for you cannot be held forever, regardless of how tightly you cling to it. Therefore, if you wish To preserve something meaningful, first, learn to respect the natural unfolding of its destiny. Thought. You have every right to pursue the beautiful aspirations of your heart with dedication, courage, and perseverance. Yet, you must also remain wise enough to recognize when it is time to release something that no longer belongs in your life. If you stubbornly cling to what has already passed its season, you create only additional exhaustion, disappointment, and suffering. In such moments, vast worries and frustrations follow like shadows that refuse to disappear. The soul becomes truly light only when we allow life to unfold according to its natural causes and conditions. Living in harmony with circumstances does not mean giving up life, but learning to accept reality with clarity and wisdom. The less importance we place upon worldly gains and losses, the more spacious, pure, and liberated the mind becomes. When the mind is tranquil and clear, happiness naturally blossoms within even the simplest moments. Fame, wealth, and material possessions are ultimately nothing more than passing clouds drifting across the sky of existence. None of these things can accompany us when the time arrives to leave this world. Sorrows, resentments, anger, and disappointments gradually fade beneath the gentle movement of time. After everything has passed, what remains is simply ourselves, standing face to face with our own hearts. Therefore, learn to live more gently, allowing every day to become an opportunity for peace and quiet fulfillment. Release what is unnecessary, and allow the winds of mindfulness to carry away the burdens accumulated within your heart. Most human suffering arises from craving, anger, and confusion about the true nature of life. If you wish to live more happily, begin by reducing unnecessary desires and learning to appreciate what is already enough. At the same time, accept that imperfection is a natural and unavoidable part of human existence. The person who knows how to let go at the proper moment is often the one who possesses the deepest wisdom. One of the greatest causes of suffering is not knowing how to release what has already completed its purpose in our lives. Another profound source of pain is expecting others to behave exactly as we wish, without ever disappointing us. When we understand that every person has limitations and learn to accept imperfections, happiness begins to draw much closer. From that spirit of acceptance, joy quietly arises within the ordinary moments of daily life. When we view life through the lens of compassion and understanding, we naturally appreciate what we already possess. A heart that knows acceptance becomes more generous, fun, more loving, and more capable of embracing people with kindness. As a result, dissatisfaction, resentment, and feelings of unfairness gradually lose their power over us. Or whether we experience happiness or suffering, success or difficulty, much depends upon the attitude we bring to each circumstance. Life itself is woven from both sunshine and storms, and no one is exempt from this rhythm of change. People who live simply often discover profound joy hidden within the smallest experiences of daily life, found. Meanwhile, many people complicate their own lives and become trapped in cycles of worry and frustration, find. Most troubles arise not from circumstances themselves, but from excessive thinking, hesitation, and mental struggle, Therefore, when something deserves your commitment, embrace it wholeheartedly with courage and responsibility, found. And when something has reached the moment to be released, let it go decisively with clarity and wisdom, Only when we complete what must be completed do we create space for new and better beginnings to enter our lives, May you walk gently through the changing seasons of life, carrying a heart filled with mindfulness, compassion, gratitude, and peace, May every step lead you closer to wisdom, and may the light of understanding accompany you wherever your journey unfolds. The story now comes to a peaceful close, yet the practice of awakening continues within every breath and every present moment. Namo Amitabha Buddha, a single teaching of the Buddha, when remembered, may awaken us for a brief moment. Yet, a single teaching of the Buddha, when truly put into practice, has the power to transform an entire lifetime. If you have found today's reflection meaningful and beneficial, please consider liking, following, and sharing it with others. This is not only a gesture of support for the channel, but also a beautiful way to help spread goodness and wisdom, allowing the Dharma to reach more people who are ready to receive its guidance. Thank you sincerely for your companionship and support. May you always preserve a peaceful heart amid the ever-changing currents of life, living each day with mindfulness, compassion, understanding, and genuine happiness. Namo Amitabha Buddha.